Joe Black.
Well, much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff. No such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Miami Dolphins. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And some room to work. Zeke with a shake and bake. And all the way down to the 35. A big play there on the first play of the game. 51 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. On play action, it's Rodgers. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now Lutz for the field goal try. This a 27-yard attempt here. And that is no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
And I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Huntley to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. But, man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 25 yards that time. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. This is caught. Touchdown, Eagles. Garrett Wilson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Eagles take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. The point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Elliott. 72 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First carry for Raheem Mostert, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The Dolphins sit 7-6, a game over 500 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
On play action, now Rodgers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw is Rodgers. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Point after, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that is incomplete.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. Elliott running right. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On play action, Rodgers. That's going to be caught. Arcega-Whiteside. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. A good pickup there of 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. He's at the 50. The 30. 10. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown.
Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
80 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Now a play fake. Rodgers. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is caught. Touchdown.
Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They did nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, Like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Tackle there by big Jordan Davis.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To throw, Huntley.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Huntley. Open man Lamb, it's complete.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
So many qualities coaches take off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big third down.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Swings this out for Hunt. He's going to pick up the first down and then some.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And they'll keep leaning on the running
job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Let's go. Go, Reed, go. Hey, check that, sweet.
That's going to be caught by Kirk. Touchdown, Eagles. Christian Kirk as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Rodgers.
They'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway.
Khalil Herbert to return it from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Operating from the gun, Huntley. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
inside handoff.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun, Huntley.
And, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop, because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
Left wing 19. Back 60. 19 tight. 19 tight.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Grab 60, grab 60. Hurt, hurt. Right there, hurt.
They'll try and throw for it here. And able to haul it in is Kittle.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
4th and 2, they got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Ready?
Back to throw. Huntley.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
18, right here.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Huntley.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown! George Kittle from 17 yards out as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time.
Derek Stingley picks it. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
You and I have talked about it before, but what about the year this guy's had on the ground? You come in as a rookie and in the discussion as MVP.
And people have always told me, running back, one of the easiest positions to break in, but not to this level. If you're talking MVP, that means he's had a sensational season.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he is going to lose yardage here. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted.
Picked off Byron Jones.
And the Dolphins are going to take over here up near the 40. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get over to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
That's into the hands of Pitts.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Following the fumble recovery, Huntley finding a safety valve here. That's complete.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed.
Okay, ready? No.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Oh, he bowls over it. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
65 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Huntley. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one to the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Elliott going to get it again on second down.
And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking on the midfield logo. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
Let's go now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. They find some open field here. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
It's not easy playing the corner, is it? A lot of times you got to defend against the pass, but sometimes you have to play against the run. How about the job he did there, crashing inside to make that tackle for a loss?
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Check, bounce pass, check, bounce pass.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Here we go, here we go. Right. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Go.
Back to throw. Huntley, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He hits his target, Lockett. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A gain there of 21 yards.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Tenth carry now for Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
26. Box it, box it, box it, box it.
The give is to Elliott.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Troy Anderson, the man on the tackle. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before.
And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season, but